Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney and I've got a really big video today. So I have a very exciting announcement to make here at the beginning, and then we're going to go through my fall capsule wardrobe, things I'm pulling from my current closet, as well as I have 6 things that I want to make for my fall capsule as well as of now. We'll talk about that here in just a second. Got all my pieces around me though, so I can share that with you. But before we get into our fall capsule wardrobe, I have an exciting announcement. So for those of you that have been around the channel since last spring, I created this Pattern Fitting 101 Demystifying Fit Head to Toe class, and I offered it back in the spring, and it was 6 weeks long, and I'll talk a little bit more about what that means, but I am opening the cart again for it. So I'm going to be offering another session. The cart is open today. So as you are watching this, the cart is open to join the class. It will be open until August 25th, and then the cart closes because class starts on August 28th. Now, what does this mean that it is 6 weeks long? Then I'll talk about the class a little bit, just a little bit, because I've talked about this before. But what that means is that it'll be 6 weeks of, somewhat, not really intense, but 6 weeks of lives. There is a community aspect, kind of like Facebook-ish, but it's all inside the class. That will be going on for that 6 weeks, which allows you to post pictures in a very private setting just with the classmates, post pictures, diagnose each other's fit. I'm on there every day. I'll be on there, Monday through Fridays. I'm setting email hours this time, or office hours this time for this launch, but I will be in there every single week. There will be lives every single week where you can ask questions. Those lives will be recorded if you miss them, and then available back in your class modules. Now, most of this class is pre-recorded videos with a whole bunch of PDFs and supporting documents to help you get the best fit possible. But when I say the class is only 6 weeks, it's those lives, it's me being in the community with you. The community does close. I'm actually giving a couple of bonus weeks where I won't be as active in the community, but if you guys, I noticed that this past class, they still wanted to chat and work through some stuff they were still working through for a couple more weeks afterwards. So I am leaving the community open for a couple of weeks after that 6 weeks, just so you guys, I just won't be as active on there. Just because of time commitments, do the channel and everything else. But for those 6 weeks, I will be very involved, and you can always send me emails even now. But you will have access to the entire class modules, those recorded lives, all those supporting documents, any updates we make. I did make a couple of updates for this class that were not in the previous class, but the previous students will have access to all of those. So all of that you have for life. So you can, watch those modules a million times if you want to, as you're fitting patterns. Now the class, we are fitting a woven top, a knit pant, and a woven pant throughout the entire 6 weeks when we were going, one piece by one piece, focusing on a piece a week, taking proper measurements, all of that kind of stuff. But you can pick whatever patterns you want. You don't have to, I've got some models that are in the class where I'm showing you how to assess fit a little bit, as well as myself. So I do use 4 different pattern companies in the class, but you can use whatever pattern companies you want. You can use, I give some, recommendations on the type of pattern you may want to pick. Just simplicity is a little bit better when we're figuring out fit, and then you can take what you learn, and I teach you how to do that, take what you learn, and then expand into some harder, more intricate patterns. So anyway, the class is open, like I said, today, and if you enroll in the next 24 hours, so before Wednesday, August 16th, 2023, at 7 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is New York's time, you will get the picking patterns for your body shape class. That is just a little mini course that I have created that just kind of helps you. It's an aid to help you identify some pattern companies that might fit you a little bit better out of the envelope. Well, maybe some pattern companies that will have a little less alterations needed to get you fitting well. So it's just a little mini course, but you will get that free, and it'll pop right into your library if you, and you have access to it right away too. So if you want to watch that between now and when class starts on the 28th to help you pick your patterns, you've got access to that right away. You won't have access to the pattern fitting class except for the welcome module until the 28th. And then one module will be released a week. So there's 6 modules total. Well, the welcome module and then 6 additional modules. So those will all be available, become available 1 week at a time. So when the class starts, you'll have access to module 1. Then the next week, you'll have access to module 1 and 2. And then the next week, 1, 2, and 3, and so on throughout the 6 weeks. I will be doing a live. I haven't decided quite yet, but it will be this week. So if you guys have any questions, definitely you can pop onto there on YouTube. So I will post on a schedule on YouTube, the upcoming live, the thing that pops up on the channel that says that there's a scheduled live, coming up. So I will be doing that this week if you've got any specific questions for the class. But yeah, choose whatever patterns you want. We got a lot of really great patterns fit, and students were helping each other fit patterns. Of course, I am on there helping you fit patterns. I was very excited and very proud of a lot of the people that we were able to, that thought that they were super hard to fit, but we were able to get them fitting into patterns. So it's very, very exciting, and it was a really great class, and I'm excited to offer that again. Okay, that's all I have to say about that. Let me know if you have questions. You can also email me if you have any questions as well. I will leave a contact link for a contact form down below. I mean, you can send me an email. My email is in the description box, but if you just want to click that link, that's the contact form on my website, and it goes to my email as well. So I'm happy to answer those questions as well. Let's talk fall capsule, folks. Oh, and dates. I forgot to do that last time. So the class technically is running from August 28th, which is a Monday, through October 6th, which is a Friday. So that very last live will take place on that Friday. Is kind of we made it to the end of class. But again, I have decided to leave the community open a couple of weeks after that, just so people can, not feeling rushed, and they can, continue to help each other for a couple more weeks after that. So those are the dates and when all that'll be happening. Yeah, and I do try and make the lives a couple of different times so that I can capture as many people, I can allow as many people as possible to watch them live. I've got some people from Australia, so we did some Friday night ones so that the Australians could be there as well as my North Americans. A little harder for my UK people, but then I did the other half on Saturdays at 11 my time, which then gave the UK people plenty of time. It was like their afternoon. I think I'm 4 hours behind. I'm 4 hours earlier than Greenwich time. So 4 hours, I think. I think that's what Eastern is. Maybe 5? We're in daylight savings time right now, and I think that UK is too. But anyway, yes, I do try and alter that a little bit so that we can get as many people as possible seeing those lives actually live. But again, they're recorded. Okay. I think I've blabbed on enough now. So now we can get into fall planning. Okay, so I am doing this before, in typical years, I have done my capsule wardrobes after Everyday Style has released their capsules, because I love to use those as frameworks. And I will probably still do that, refine what I've got here once the Everyday Style capsule wardrobe comes out. Now, I always pick my own color palette because I like to be in my own season. I've had my colors done. I'm sure you guys know. I'm a copper spring with Color Guru. I will leave a link if you're interested in having your colors professionally done. I do have a 10% off code, and I'll leave that down below. But I always pick my own color palette and just kind of adjust whatever Jennifer from Everyday Style has kind of put out there. And then I just kind of plug in, if she's got a black shirt, and I've decided my dark neutral is brown, then I will substitute black shirt in for brown shirt. So hopefully that makes sense. I usually do 6 colors just like she does, and I usually have a dark neutral, a light neutral, and then like a medium neutral that's in there, and then 3 like accent colors. So, which my signature color, which is red, is usually one of those accent colors. So anyway, that is kind of how I do mine. But I wanted to get these out here for you guys now because I know a lot of people like to sew well before the season comes. This isn't as early as I wanted to get it out, so I do apologize, but you know, the summer happened, and yeah. So now is better late than never, and I am getting this out a little earlier than I typically would have, so hopefully this is a little bit more helpful. I have 6 things that I would like to try and make for my capsule this season, but I'm not ruling out that once the everyday capsule comes out, that there aren't going to be maybe a couple of really on-trend pieces. Like I may add a couple more is what I'm saying. And we'll get into that a little bit. So let's talk about my colors. So the colors, woo, hit my board. The colors that I'm using for my fall wardrobe are ivory, kind of my chocolate brown, that's going to be my dark neutral. Then I'm doing an army green, kind of a chartreuse. It's a chartreuse, a lime chartreuse kind of color. My signature color is my real warm tomato red, and then pink, which is not in my color palette. This is a cool pink. I got this color palette mostly from the Upton skirt that I made from my Distashify fabric, my July Distashify fabric, and I'd mentioned that it was inspiring me for my fall capsule. So I'm very pleased with what I put together here. Now, you'll notice that there's not a lot of pink at all here right now. That is one of the things, so pink is not in my color palette. I don't want it up next to my face. That's just my own preference, but I would maybe like a pair, I mean, Barbie core is huge right now, a pair of pink pants. So I'm there's a pattern that's possibly coming out here soon that I think might work for what I want. And I've been searching and eyeing up some pink like denim or twill, cotton twill for these pants, trousers, whatever you want to call them. And so those may be coming in now. I just didn't want to talk about them much until then. But I think those, and maybe I might do a pair of inexpensive pink flats shoes. I have 4 shoes that I've pulled for my technical capsule, but I may throw in a pair of pink shoes too, because I think that could be a fun way to bring in some of that color in my outfits without it being by my face. So that is where you're going to see the pink mostly, and then it shows up here in this skirt, and it does show up in my Jessica blazer. So there's nods to the pink. Pretty much most of the stuff though from my color palette are the first 5 colors. So that is the color palette that I am working with. I'm going to walk you through all the pieces I'm going to be putting in my fall capsule, and then I'll pop up some twirls of me wearing those things so that you can kind of see them on my body. And then I've got my little capsule wardrobe spreadsheet here, and if you are a newsletter subscriber, you got your own blank version as well as mine. I stick mine in there as well in the newsletter today. So that is what we got. This is perks to being newsletter subscribers, folks. Okay, we'll start with tops. So for my tops, I'm going to be taking my cream Itch to Stitch Lago tank into fall. This is made in the Luxury Viscose from Minerva. It's my favorite viscose spandex to use. It's just a really flowy, easy layering piece. I mean, I may wear it as is in the fall, but most likely I'll be layering it. So that's kind of the purpose of I have 2 tanks. 2 sleeveless tops in my capsule, and most likely those are going to be more layering pieces, but also fall can be very unpredictable. You know, I may have a 90-degree day in the end of September or beginning of October where I do want to just wear a tank. So it's good to have some of these in my wardrobe. Next, this is a chocolate brown silk t-shirt. So it's a silk knit t-shirt that I thrifted from Goodwill. And I even think it's a petite, to be honest. The tag's not in there. Maybe it's not. But it's just a really beautiful, thin, lightweight silk knit top. I do wash my silk jerseys on a delicate cycle and then let them air dry. So it's real easy to take care of. And oh, that's right. Someone has hemmed this. This has been altered by someone else, not me. To take up the the hem, but leave the little band there at the bottom. Anyway, thrifted this at Goodwill. Perfect. It's a good chocolate brown. I do have some chocolate. I have a chocolate, chocolatey acorn walnut kind of color of merino jersey that's also in my stash. I may recreate another t-shirt for myself, just a simple layering piece, like with the Cashmere Concord. I'm not sure yet though, but for now, this one is going to work really well in that slot. I'm also taking my Cashmere Carlisle into the season. This is a little bit brighter than the green I'm really wanting to go for that's in this skirt, which is a little bit more chartreuse. This is a little bit more, not neon green, but a little more bright lime green, but I think it's going to work, and I can layer it, you know, appropriately. And I think it looks good with the olive, which I really love, and the brown, and the red. So this one's going to go in, and it's a short sleeve shirt, which will be good for the transitioning weather. Next is my Style Arc Posy top. Now this is not chartreuse, although it does have a little, there's some muddiness in this mustard color that goes a little acidy greeny, a little bit. So we're just gonna pretend. Because I think it's gonna look really good with all the other bottoms that I've got anyway. And I also think this is gonna be a great transitional piece with the little eyelet flutter sleeves, and I'll wear it most likely as is. I don't know that it's going to layer really great underneath things just because of the way of the ruffle, but we can play around with that and kind of see what's what. But I'm just very excited to have this in my wardrobe now. This was a Sew the Look recently. Next, my Cashmerette long sleeve Concord in the cream. Now, I've said this before, but I put stuff in my guest room closet. So when it's off season, that sort of thing, it all goes and lives in my upstairs guest room closet. But I do keep seasonally appropriate things that aren't technically in that season's capsule in my regular closet, because sometimes I want to grab them. Because technically, like, this tank top wasn't in my capsule, but it's, you know, it still goes. That's the beauty of sewing in a color palette. Things will go together even if, you know, they're not. Everything goes together. It's a cohesive closet, which has been my goal from the get-go. So my short sleeve one is staying in my closet currently right until it gets cold, but I am throwing the long sleeve one in for those days where it's a little chillier. There's always that transitional, you know, period, you know, where your short sleeves and long sleeves live together in the closet until you can switch it completely. All right, next is my Love Notions Lincoln. This is going to be my striped top, because you'll notice I've not put any navy blue in this capsule. I'm really interested in, technically the color on my color palette's not really a navy blue, it's a dark blue. It's called Lapis Blue. I keep hitting my divider there. But I do wear kind of navy a little bit in that. However, I really want to try and make some more neutrals and more of my better for me neutrals. Not that navy's not a good neutral for me, but I think some better for me neutrals are olive and brown. So anyway, I'm just excited. I just want to expand those colors a little bit in my wardrobe, which is kind of why I left blue out this time. But this is going to be my striped top for the season in my red and white stripe. And again, this is the Lincoln from Love Notions. All right, next up, I don't know that I've ever shown this top on the channel. It really needs, I just pulled this out of the upstairs closet, so it's been smashed in among things, so it needs a good steam. But this is the Chalk and Notch Wren top, and I made this, it's got hearts on it. Those aren't polka dots, those are hearts. But I bought this from Melanated Fabrics. But it wasn't the birthday I had back in this past February. It may have been the February before. I don't think I've gotten it on the channel. But again, this is the Rent by Chalk and Notch. And this is a viscose fabric. Beautiful. But my birthday is the day after Valentine's Day. So I have a little affinity for hearts. And I made this shirt to wear for Valentine's Day. I think it was, you know, 2 Valentine's Days ago now. But yeah, I'm like, you know what? Why save? I mean, this is one of my colors. Why save this shirt just for around my birthday time? Like, let's start wearing it now. So I pulled it out of the closet, and this is going into my wardrobe, and I'm going to wear this because it's a beautiful, like, printed blouse. And it does look like polka dots, but it's actually hearts. Which again, my birthday's the day after Valentine's Day, so that feels on brand. Right, next up is my army green silk curso top. This is what I recently made. You guys saw this on my July to Stashify video that I made to go with the skirt. But yeah, I mean, it's just a beautiful shell. This fabric feels amazing. I got it from Stashify. The lining came from my stash. I mean, I feel like I'm gonna wear this a ton. I mean, it's gonna be, again, if we have some of those 90-degree days, I can wear it as is. But most likely it's gonna be layered under some of my cardigans and jackets. And I mean, yeah, I love this. And then, of course, I mean, my style goes classic. This also just got pulled out of my upstairs closet and it's looking very creased and wrinkly. But this is my Liesl & Co. classic shirt and in the ivory, and I just wear this thing, you know, all the time. So yes, it'll be coming down into my wardrobe as well. It's great as an overshirt as well as just wearing it as a button-up shirt and tucking that in and, you know, all sorts of things, tying it, whatever. So I'm excited to have this back in my wardrobe as well. It's been living upstairs. Oops. And then finally, I am adding my ivory Adrian blouse. This is the Friday Pattern Company Adrian blouse. I love this for fall because it's long sleeve, so it can get a little hot, but the eyelet sleeves just make it, I don't know, give it texture. Similar, it's the same fabric that I used for my posy top here. This I made first though. So it's a cotton spandex eyelet fabric from Minerva, and it's jersey, it's a knit. Anyway, it just makes a really fun sleeve. The body of this one, though, is their cotton spandex jersey, not the luxury viscose like the posy. But anyway, I love this top, and I can't layer this one because the sleeves are just too large, but it is a wonderful transitional top. Love it. Can't wait to have this one back in my wardrobe. All right, so now let's talk about the bottoms that I'm going to be adding to my capsule. First off, I'm not going to take these off the hanger because you're going to see them on my body, but first up, I've got my stretch corduroy itch to stitch Mountain View pull-on jeans. And in fact, as I was looking through this, a lot of these bottoms are itch to stitch. And I'm wearing a pair of itch to stitch bottoms. I just love the way itch to stitch pants fit me. I have to do very few alterations. I wear pants and sew pants from other companies and love them as well. I just have to do more alterations to other companies than I have to do to itch to stitch. Literally, I have to do nothing. I make a straight size 8 and then shorten the leg. So, and they just fit my body well. Anyway, but yes, the Mountain View pull-on jeans are the first pair that I'm adding to my wardrobe. My flared jeans from Madewell. I bought these last fall, I think. Bought myself a pair and my daughter a pair, and love these. I just love the silhouette. I am straight through the hips and large busted, so anything that helps to balance out my upper body is a plus, and a wider leg does that for me. I can look like a orange on a toothpick comes to skinny jeans. So for me, I'm glad the skinny jean trend is not the only thing out there anymore. I like a little bit more of a fuller leg on my body just to help balance out my own proportions. So the flare jeans are coming back. I'm also going to leave my Ecru, white to me, Everlane jeans. These are a straight leg jean in the mix as well, just because it's kind of fun, I think, to take, I like to see white jeans or ivory jeans, whatever, in a fall capsule. I just think it kind of keeps things light and bright a little bit, but you can, by changing your shoes and all that kind of thing, really start to bring the fall in and wearing darker colors on top. So I'm going to be keeping my Ecru jeans in as well. And then my cashmerette Upton skirt. This is the Upton dress, but you can make each of the skirts that are available for the bodice as standalone skirts. So this is the skirt in the pleated skirt that comes with the original pattern. There is an expansion pattern, which I also have. Love that. It's my favorite fit and flare woven dress pattern. I just love it. And I love the skirt too. And I'm excited to wear this casually. So I'm going to be really playing around with styling on this to try and wear this casually, like every day. Skirts are a great thing to take into transitional weather because You can do darker colors and that sort of thing, change your footwear, but still have air circulation if it is a little bit warmer. You know, you can wear tanks and stuff on top, layer things, take things off, that sort of thing to help regulate your temperature. But I do like a good dress or skirt in the fall just to help with that transitional period. And this was the inspiration for my color palette. All right, next are 2 pairs of Itch to Stitch Upland trousers. This is my dark green pair in a corduroy. I mean, my corduroy pants, I can see, just like with spring, you know, I wear a whole bunch of a few pieces at the beginning, and then by the time I'm at the end of the season, I'm wearing a whole bunch of other pieces. So everything gets worn. It's almost like you have 2 separate capsules. So I can see me wearing this a little bit more into the late October, November timeframe. But very excited to have these back. I love the Upland trousers. They're one of my favorite pant patterns on my body. So I've got that one, and then I have my cotton twill pair that are in this brown color. In the kind of this, it's not chocolate, it's more tan, but we're going to pretend. So I'll be adding this pair in as well. This is like my answer to khaki pants a little bit. Again, I just love this silhouette on my body, and these are a favorite pair of pants. So these will be worn probably a little earlier in the season than the corduroy will be worn, but you know, nevertheless, excited about those coming in. And then finally, my Parker Ponte pants. I did a sew along for these. To be honest, they're a little snug on me at the moment, but I am also very inflamed. I've had a very tumultuous summer with my autoimmune, and although I think I'm back on the right track, I have really dialed in my diet, meaning my things that I know I can't eat because they inflame me even more, that add to the problem. I've really dialed that down here recently. So most likely I'm going to see some depoofing happening here soon. But I love the Parker Ponte pants by Style Arc, and these I made in a Ponte, but they're a Ponte twill in this army green color. So I'm excited to put, these are my answer to athleisure. I don't really do athleisure. I've tried to put athleisure into my capsule before, like many times, and I just don't reach for them very often. So knit pants that are a little bit more trouser-like seem to be my answer to a comfortable pair of pull-on trousers. So anyway, that is that is what we've got going on. So again, these are a little snug on me right now, but I'm sure they will fit much better here soon. All right, I only have one dress right now because we'll go through my plans at the moment, but I am bringing back in my Closet Core Elodie dress from this beautiful batik fabric. I made this right around Thanksgiving last year. This was my Thanksgiving dress. Thanksgiving was freezing, and I wore it because we were inside most of the day. Is that right, or Christmas? No, this was Christmas. I'm sorry. I made this for Christmas last year. This was going to be my Christmas dress, and I did wear it because we were inside, but we were in like a Arctic vortex last Christmas. In fact, it pushed our traveling back to see family a day because we had a horrible snowstorm, and then it was like -40 wind chills around here. So I haven't really gotten a chance to wear this dress much. I did wear it on Christmas Day because we were indoors all day long, but I just made it so late in the season, and it is a kind of a cotton poplin-ish. I mean, it's a batik. It's like a wax print type batik fabric. So it is cotton, and it was just too chilly. So I'm very excited to pull this out this fall because I think this would be a perfect dress to wear throughout the fall. And when I made it, I kind of thought, well, you know, worst case scenario, I just wear it, you know, wait till next fall, and then everything should be fine. But I think the colors on here go really well with the browns and the reds of what I'm pulling out for the fall. And then finally, I don't know why I'm holding this, just to cause problems. Finally, I've got my 4 toppers or jackets that I'm going to be pulling out for the fall, and then we'll go through my plans for makes. But I have added in my Metro blazer. This is actually plaid. It's like a brown. I don't know if you're going to be able to see the fabric right, but it's like a chocolate brown with a little black plaid. I just love these things. This Ponte has a little more polyester in it, which, while that can pill, it also holds its structure really well. So, you know, give and take. There is nylon. I'm pretty sure there's, not nylon, rayon in this, but the polyester is the higher content on this one, which isn't my favorite. It makes a very warm jacket. But as the weather cools, this is going to be perfect. And you know how I feel about my Metro Blazers. I absolutely love them. And technically, I mean, my red one will be living down in my closet. And I may put my white one up for now. But yeah, my red one will make its way down, even though it's not in my technical capsule. It'll probably, because it's red and it goes with everything else I'm wearing, it'll still be in the closet. Next, my red Harper cardigan. This is the Sinclair Patterns Harper cardigan. It's a free pattern. It's lovely. My favorite cardigan pattern. Very excited about pulling this back out. It's in a sweater knit from Minerva that does have, it's wool, but it's also got some polyester in it. So it is pilling. I made a sweater in this as well, the same fabric, as well as a skirt. The skirt's fine, but the sweater had to go because it just pilled really badly over the course of wearing it quite a bit. This is still fine because it gets worn over things, and it also doesn't get washed as often because it's always a layering piece. But anyway, I love this. This is a great pattern. And then I pulled down my crazy Jessica blazer. This is in a poly cotton sateen from Minerva. This may have been my first Minerva post when I first became a Minerva like ambassador, you know, every now and again. I don't do it as much anymore, but anyway, this may have been my first post. This fabric is wild and crazy. It's got floral, it's got animal print. The basis of it is warm. It's got the browns. There's a little bit of like yellow. There's some green, like acidy green in there. And again, there's a little bit of pink. Yeah, there's orange. There's like, yeah, all sorts of things. It's a digital print, but I love this jacket. I had made matching pants for it too, which are also on the hanger with it. I don't think I've ever worn the pants aside from when I took the pictures for this, but the jacket I do wear, and I'm pulling it back down into my closet because I kind of forget about it, and it's just been up in my guest room closet. Although I have pulled it out a few falls like in a row. It's just like a fun pop, but wearing this with just like a brown t-shirt and jeans and a pair of boots, and then all of a sudden you have a statement piece. This statement blazer. I'm excited to play around with the styling of this. So this is coming into the main closet. And then finally, my faux leather cashmerette Canton jacket. My moto jacket, I've done a sew along for this on the channel. Love this thing. I made it back in the spring though, which is when the pattern was released and when the sew along came out. So I wore it a little bit in the spring, but it just got hot really quickly because it is a faux leather. So I'm very excited to have this back in my wardrobe for the fall and then even into the winter. I mean, the deepest part of the winter, this isn't going to be warm enough, but there's a good chunk of the year that I'll be able to wear this. And then I can wear it again in the spring as things start to warm up a little bit. So very excited to have my moto jacket back in my closet. All right, and then real quickly, I just want to touch on my accessories and then we'll look at plans. My kind of ivory-ish, they're really more of a light brown, but you know, they're little booties that I got from Target. Those are coming in. My white leather sneakers are making a comeback into the wardrobe. I mean, they live all of my shoes live in my closet all the time. Also these leather, well, they're not leather. These are from Target, but these loafers in the cream, those are going to come back in. I wore those last fall and absolutely loved them. And then my green Vivea ballet flats. My nude ones, I'm sure I'll wear a ton as well, but these definitely are going to be kind of a fun pop of color in my wardrobe. And then as far as bags, I know this isn't any of the colors, it's mustard, but I think it's going to work with everything. But my new bag I got from Italy, and my Chanel inspired bag from Italy, and then my Michael Kors camel colored bag is also going to come in. I've also pulled some of my jewelry and just put it in the forefront of my jewelry box, just so it's like the first things I grab, like these earrings. You guys have seen these before, but it's kind of got that acidy green tassels that are on it, amongst a few other things that I just kind of pull to the front of my jewelry box. So I'm able to see them and grab those fast. All right, let's talk plans. let me set this back down. All right, so 6 things that I'm wanting to make. First thing, I bought this olive sweatshirting from Style Maker sorry, I got a tickle in my throat. This is also a very long video and I apologize. But back in February with my birthday discount. So Style Maker Fabrics will send out a birthday discount for the month of your birthday. You get 20% off the entire, well, one purchase sometime in your birthday month. And I always make a big order. And so she's got a lot of the bamboo cotton sweatshirting fleece with matching ribbing. So I had bought the kind of this olive colorway of both of these, knowing that I wanted to make myself another cashmere at Stanton. How many does one need? Apparently a lot. But I'm just going to do my hack where I instead of putting the hood on, so I make the version that has the hood. Well, they both have a hood. The pull-on version, not the zip-up version. And instead of putting the hood on, I just put a neckband on. So it's more of a sweatshirt as opposed to a hoodie. And then I can kind of wear it as a sweatshirt, or I can layer shirts underneath it as well and wear it as kind of like a sweater-ish. So, because I like that, a pop of print, like from a shirt underneath with the collar. I think that that's a lot of fun. I don't have a ton of colors though. I've got my white collar and then I've got another one that I'm making. But anyway, I have other colored shirts in my wardrobe that I could definitely play around with. So that is going to be as Cashmere at Stanton. I know you guys are probably sick of seeing those by now, but sorry. All right, next, I'm sure if you've been sleeping under a rock, maybe you haven't heard, but Mimi G recently released a new book, Making It Yours with Mimi G, I think is what it's called. I bought it and so inspired by it. She just does such a good job of putting things together. So the book includes, I think it's 6 patterns, 5 or 6 patterns, but then she goes through hacks that you can do to each of them to make them different. And I think in the back of the book, she has over 100 outfits where she's mixed and matched the different hacks of her patterns. Like she's sewn like with the color palettes and stuff like that. And at the very back of the book, it even lists like what all those are. So like look 107 is, you know, the shirt, the shacket hack cropped with the trouser, you know, plain trouser pattern or whatever. Anyway, there is a shirt and I'll pop a picture of it here of her in the book. And I love that shirt. I love the look. She wears it with high-waisted jeans that are also her trouser pattern that she's hacked. And I'm going to make that shirt hack. So she has a button-up shirt that's in the book. It's just called the button-up shirt. But then she has a shacket hack. And the shirt she's wearing here is that shacket hack, but it's been just shortened. So it's not a long shacket. It's just been shortened to be like regular shirt length to make a blouse. And my dear friend Cecile sent me, the little stinker, sent me a couple of fabrics in the mail the other day. And this was one of them. It's this beautiful, I would call it a rayon, it may be a rayon batiste. A rayon, because it's pretty thin, but I think as a oversized, loose-fitting button-up shirt, I don't think I'm going to need lining or anything. I think it's going to be fine, because when I put my hand behind the fabric, when it's right up, you can't see my hand. So I think it'll be fine as is without any lining. But it's got my army green in it. It's got kind of the lighter acidy green in it. It also has like my yellows and oranges. It's all in my color palette. But I thought that this would go really well with what I'm wanting to make. Yeah, so I'm going to try that hack in the book. I really want to make up all those patterns because once you get the patterns to fit you, then you can make up all of her hacks and have all sorts of options. And I love a good sewing book, and it's a really pretty book. So if you don't have it, highly recommend. It's linked down below. I have no affiliation with it at all. I don't get anything out of it. It was just something I grabbed and loved that. Okay, so that's going to be a blouse I make. And then I bought some merino jersey from the fabric store. Gosh, maybe in this time, I can't remember. It's been a little bit ago. It had been before Christmas because I used one of them to make my daughter a sweater for Christmas. But I bought 4 colors. They were just on sale. They were like all in my color palette. I've used one for my daughter. I made myself a red, gosh, was it the Arlington that I made? And I did big sleeves on it. Anyway, I have 2 colors left, which is kind of this acidy I think it's called lemongrass, but it's merino jersey, beautiful. And then I also bought an army green. So I could pull it out and maybe I might use that this fall as well. But again, we'll wait and see what the everyday style capsule looks like, if there's anything else I want to add. But I want to make a itch to stitch Zacapane, I think I'm saying that right, the twist top with this. Now, I want to make sure that I like that style on my body. I'm a little worried that the twist right here is going to accentuate my bust. But as you guys saw in my Destashify video, I have some coral rayon jersey that I'm going to try that with first. So I'm going to make it out of that first. If I do like the style on me, I'm going to make a second one in this merino jersey. I just think it'll be like a sweater, because this is a sweater knit, but it's thin t-shirt. Actually, it's great for layering. Merino jersey is fabulous. It's antimicrobial naturally. It's a great, keeps you cool in the summer, warm in the winter type thing, so makes great base layers. I may have enough, because I think I have 2 meters of this. I'm not sure. It may just be 1.5 meters. But if I have enough, then maybe I could make myself a little like layering t-shirt as well. We'll just kind of have to see what my fabric situation is. But yeah, if the Zacapane works well in the coral jersey, I'm going to make another one in this merino. All right, this one you already know about. I'm making myself a pair of Spencer woven pants by Style Art. This is the sew along. Part 1 went up on Sunday, so this has already been cut out. This is my remnants left over. But I'm using this kind of army green gabardine, wool gabardine from my stash, and making those wide-legged pants. I've already talked about my plans for these, both in my August plans, and then obviously the sew along's already going on, but that's going to be going in my fall capsule. And then I've got 2 one pieces. The first, this is a rayon nylon spandex ponte that I bought from Fabric Mart. I bought a whole bunch of ponte. It's been a little while ago. Probably back in the spring, end of winter, beginning of spring, because they were having a sale, and I just bought my ponte stash was running low, so I just bought a whole bunch of colors in my daughter's palette as well as in my palette. And I've sewn through most of it. I think I've got just a couple, maybe 2. I think I bought originally 6 or 7, and I think I only have 2, maybe 3 that are left after this. But I want to make I'm challenging myself to try a few new to me pattern companies just to keep things fresh and exciting. And Cecile, who gave me my beautiful fabric, pointed me in the direction of, Dressmaker Amore patterns. And oh my gosh, number 1, there's a ton on there that my daughter like flipped over. She loves them. But I'm going to try one of their patterns, and I'm going to make the Ophelia dress, which is a knit dress. It has beautiful sleeves. I'm going to lengthen it a little bit. It's a little short for my taste. I want to find a flattering length on my leg, but it's got a little A-line skirt meant for knit fabrics. I think it'll be lovely in this ponte for stable knit fabrics. So, and this is like my red. I probably will have stuff left over to do something with down the road, but yeah, because I think I have 3 yards of this. But yes, I'm going to make myself I think it's Dressmaker Amore Ophelia dress, and very excited to try out that pattern company. And then finally, Avalanche. You guys have seen this as well. This is a heavyweight linen from the fabric store. They do not have this color anymore, although I've linked an army green color. They do have a few colors of their heavyweight linen still. They just don't have this color anymore. But I'm going to make myself the Closet Core Patterns Blanca flight suit, short sleeves, longer length pant. And I talked about this again in my August plans as well. So that's also going into the fall capsule, and it's going to be a 1-piece / in my dresses, I also put 1 pieces in there. So that is what this fabric is going to be as well. And there you have it. So those are the 6 things I'm definitely making. And again, I may add a few things just as Everyday Styles capsule comes out, because I will buy that. And then also I kind of want to add a little bit of pink in there, which may be some inexpensive shoes or probably a pair of pants. So stay tuned. I'll just be doing a little fine tuning from here on out. Okay guys, very long video, sorry about that. Don't forget, if you're interested in the pattern making or the pattern fitting class, again, we had really good success with getting, a ton of people fit. there were a ton of people in the class, but the ones that were engaged mostly in the community, those are the ones I could tell were making good progress, obviously. You don't have to be engaged in the community if you don't want to be, but those are the ones I could really see that were making good progress. And it's just a really great environment and a lot of cheerleaders over there, myself included, as well as Jenny. So yeah, you want to grab that soon, though, if you would like that free bonus class as well. All right, guys, that's all I have for today. Thanks for sticking with me. I will be back on Friday. I'm not sure what Friday's video is, to be honest. It's with something. And then again on Sunday with part 2 of the sew along for the Spencer woven pants. All right, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will see you again on Friday. Get some sewing in this week. Bye-bye.